Hello YouTube, Tim here. This is one of my older youth recurves. Note the fairly shallow recurve itself. This is only about 4 inches, and that was about a 8-inch radius that I was using. The other thing to note is it was a full 6-inch handle, flattened just a little bit there, you can see side to side, and I haven't actually finished it to the point where I've cut the grooves in the nocks. And especially with such long string loops, I was concerned that it might shed, because that's just something that can happen if you don't have either a properly sized string loop, or if you don't have any way to retain it. So, something I was concerned about, but so far so good. We do have compatible weather, and we do have a good opportunity to just do some basic chronograph testing, starting with 454 grain arrows. 146.3. That's 1. Error. $149.7. Yeah, this bow needs to be straightened a little bit and worked on. If I'm not careful, it probably will shed itself. I'm telling you, for all the people say these carpet targets are wonderful and just the absolute best thing ever, if it hits the base, it can get stuck in there so darn tight that you won't know what to do with it. And short of me just grabbing it with 2 hands, bracing it with my foot, I had no idea what I could do. I pulled it right off its support. No harm, no foul. By the way, if you were interested, the very first shot that I had up there was a data point. A valid one, I think. So if you want to count that as the 3rd shot, you can. Or I'm going to keep on shooting a few more times. Let me just put the glove back on. Okay. Here we go again. 151.3 seems to be getting a little bit faster, and I'm not sure if that's me or the bow. No dice. I'm going to grab this one a little bit lower and string it more towards the center. No result. Okay. $154.3. This is definitely speeding up, and I'm not sure if that's characteristic. Error. $153.0. Okay, so we have a 45 pound bow shooting approximately 150 feet per second. Not bad. That's a little bit over its weight class. Now, let's test it out with a heavier arrow. we have some long bamboo arrows, which are pretty darn heavy. One of them is 700 grains, the other is 650. So these are pretty substantial arrows. Not valid. $123.5. It seems slow. It felt faster than that shooting it. And the carpet target does its work again. Darn this thing! It just ripped the arrowhead right off of it. So now I have an arrowhead stuck inside there. Crap. I'm telling you, these things are not all they're cracked up to be. I like it. It's really great. It's super reusable, but man, it's a pain in the butt. It's easier if you're shooting into it at an angle or you're using these screwed in types. Those aren't going to come out. And if you're shooting into it at an angle, you're just going to get stuck into it after penetrating, maybe through the pile of one of the carpet layers. Let's try one of these. This is a 400 grain Allen carbon arrow. This should be extremely fast. $151.9. I noticed no difference so far. This was one of those that I lightly filed the knock. I went ahead and opened it up just enough so now it grabs, but it doesn't grip so tightly that it strips itself of the knock. That's a big help. Okay, one more try. 151.1. So, inexplicably, a lighter arrow is slower. One more try, come on. Maybe it's just my technique. I'm sure it is, in fact. We should be able to get at least 160, 165 with this. It's killing me. I'm dying for a real result here. Okay. Well, let's give it up on that for a while. What do you say we try one of our carbon arrows? This is even lighter. These should shoot easily 170 out of this bow. We would expect that. One of them is only 370 grains, one of them is a little bit more than that. Null result, come on. Well, at least I'm shooting consistently. Same spot, the arrow's in the same state of flexion. A few more tries. $147.6, so great. An even lighter arrow, going even slower. Error. We're not having the best of luck with this. How much of this is my fault as a user, I really can't say, but I'm not terribly impressed. Spine issues are one thing that need to be accounted for. I can't say exactly what problems we'll be having due to that, due to the arrows being mismatched. Because the bamboo arrows are all spined for about a 50-60 pound bow. The carbon fiber arrows might be a little bit more forgiving, although I have no reason to believe why that would be so. I mean, they list a 45 to 70 pound range. You can't tell me that the arrow is going to flex adequately for all of those. I think they're mostly considering center shot bows and modern bows to be something it's suitable for. It's probably far too stiff for these kinds of bows. There it is. At any rate, we hit a peak of about, call it 155 feet per second with the carbon arrows with this bow. That's not half bad. Not half bad, especially considering it's about a 40-pound bow. I could draw it and we can find out, but call it a 45-pound bow because it is a bit chilly out here. I know we could do better. I'm not exactly sure how. Without adding additional reflex, deepening the recurves, we can try things like that. But that's very adequate performance. At any rate, I'm glad we got some data. This is just something that I can put in there, and I will add this to some of the spreadsheets that I've been building. So, thanks for watching, and at least we have something to share.